But now we shall move to the next speakers, Rawda Abdel Hady. Rawda, she will talk about Rapuda, local social enterprise and its role in youth and community heritage education. Rawda is the founder of Raquda Heritage Enterprise based in Alexandria, and she was one of the startups who joined us for virtual Heritage Cairo project. I myself, together with Dr. Gamal Abdel. Rawda, floor is yours. Unmute yourself.
Okay, good afternoon. I am Rawda Abdel Hady, archaeological conservator and the founding director of Rapuda Foundation for Art and Heritage. Today I will speak specifically about how the NGOs influence the heritage conservation and development, especially in Alexandria. Before starting about Rapuda, I wanted to refer why we started this foundation. The idea and the goal came from a specific convention of the UNESCO. Of course, all of us know the first convention, which is about concerning the protection of the World Heritage, cultural and natural heritage in 1972. Specifically in the article of 5 and 27, there was ensuring about the effective and the active measures which have to be taken for the protection, conservation, and presentation of the cultural heritage. So each state party has to foster establishment or development national and regional centers for training and to protect, to conserve, and to present the heritage, and to encourage scientific research in the field. And the second main convention, which is related to the intangible safeguarding of 2003, which refer to the international human rights, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights in economic, social, and cultural and civil rights. So from those two main conventions, the idea of Rapuda came. But why actually we choose Alexandria? We have started from 2015. Firstly, because it's a personal desire. I am so Alexandrian, and because I'm archaeological conservator. Alexandria is the first cosmopolitan cultural heritage we know. If we search about the values of this heritage city, either the cultural or the socio-economic values. So first of all, we will find the identity, which is related to the recognition that the concept of term cosmopolitan had been changed from the economic meaning, which used to mean pluralism in the capital of corporates and companies, to refer the idea of multiculturalism and different nationalities live in peace in the same area. So because of Alexandria, this term had been changed in its meaning. And then we found another cosmopolitan cities like New York and recently Dubai. The second, the value, which is related to socio-economic values, the rarity value, that it's the only Greco-Roman city in Egypt, and it was its capital for 10 centuries. That means that we have a rare heritage sites. For instance, that the oldest street still in use in the world is in Alexandria, which is the Fuad Street. We have the oldest museum in Egypt, the Greek-Roman Museum, and by the way, it's established before even Tahrir Museum. The educational value, especially because we have Bibliotheca Alexandrina, and the literature was listed as nominated point in the intangible cultural heritage. We hope that we can register officially. But what about the current cultural situation in Alexandria? We have positive and negative points we wanted to refer and to share it and about the NGOs, the situation, the archaeology institution, the universities, and the local community, as they are the stakeholders of the heritage in Alexandria. We face a problem of lack of awareness for the importance of Alexandria, whether the tangible or the intangible heritage, even between the Alexandrian themselves. We face another problem about lack of specialized academic centers or universities who can teach heritage and conservation. We don't have any university or faculties study heritage or conservation so far. So far, we're defining Alexandria as just a one-day coastal city, so you can visit it for the sea or the beach, not to see its heritage. We face also a lack of interest from the governmental institution to preserve or conserve Alexandrian heritage, especially in the architecture heritage buildings. The absence of the non-governmental institution working on heritage. We don't have any NGOs registered to work on heritage. Lack of awareness of the importance of registering and documentation heritage of Alexandria. We only have World Heritage Site as the first lecture mentioned in this session, which is the Marmina Monastery. But unfortunately, it's listed as danger site because of its lack. We don't manage or conserve this site, and finally, because of those reasons, we face the big problem about lacking of funding for heritage projects. But of course, there are some steps to help. Okay, some institutions help to preserve or conserve Alexandrian heritage. Of course, one of them is Biblioteca Alexandrina as educational and cultural institution. The Centre Alexandrine, or the French Center of the Alexandrian Studies, the CALX, which had great efforts in documentation, conservation, and excavation the Alexandrian sites, even the underwater cultural heritage, and the Alexandria Society, which was established in 1894. While establishing the Greek-Roman Museum. And for the investment, we have Sigma Property, which has great work in reconstruction, restoring many of the architecture buildings in Fuad Street and the central part of Mahatat Ramla and Manshia. That's why we started establishing Rapuda Foundation. Rapuda, it's a registered NGO in Alexandria, started working from 6 years. We are lucky that we have worked with the governmental and non-governmental organization, the previous one that we spoke about, and another institution we will speak about in more details. The objectives of Rapuda, we can divide them to 4 sections: sharing awareness, and we start our work in sharing awareness with the academic people, even they are work on museum, archaeological sites, or conservation. And then we extend our work to be with the public or the local community. The documentation part for documenting and preserving the tangible and intangible heritage, specifically in Alexandria, and to engage more people with local community engagement projects. And then, finally, And recently, we're working on projects related to achieving the Sustainable Development Goals of 2030, which was announced by the UNESCO. Rapuda has so far more than 400 volunteers. The High Board is 6 members, and our ages are from 14 to 40 people. Our ages are just the youth. Our location of our project mainly in Alexandria. And this year we start working in Cairo, and now we are planning to work in Aswan, Sinai, and Port Said. We achieved 18 projects and program until now, and our target customer is 2 types, B2C and B2B. B2C is directly with the local community and teenagers and youth, and the B2B is with the universities, ministries, and international NGOs. Those are the main projects we have achieved until now. I will speak quickly about them. In 2015, we started with a mesology training program with the ICOM, and then in 2016 we started an important documentation project with Iskandaruna annual exhibition. I will speak about it after 2 slides, I think. And we have another educational program about heritage conservation and preservation with a series of training workshops. In 2017, 2018, we have important initiative which was about cycling to Alexandria heritage. It was under the supervision of the Ministry of Antiquities and Tourism. And we have scientific posters on virtual reconstruction of some heritage sites by using the infographic techniques. In 2019, we participated in the World Youth Forum because its themes was about how to use cultural dialogue, documentaries, and pluralism to create opportunities for peace building with the Mediterranean and Africa. That's why the World Youth Forum chose Rapuda to participate in this version. And also we make a campaign about how to explain and interpret the religion philosophy of Alexandria through contemporary perception, through which we can reach the public, especially the youth. We have the initiative of Alexandria World Heritage, which was in cooperation with the UNESCO and Biblioteca Alexandrina. And during the Corona pandemic, we didn't stop our work. We have a new initiative about how to visit the heritage sites in Alexandria, Aslu Iskandaroni initiative, and interactive communication for cultural and art organization workshops. And this year we established a heritage development project camps, and we started the Al-Harafi project, which is about the handicrafts learning in collaboration with the Ministry of Youth and Sports. And finally, Alexandria Heritage documentation. Iskandaruna exhibition, the idea of it's how to use art in documenting the heritage sites of Alexandria. And in each year, we have a specific theme. So, for instance, this in 2019, the theme was about the heritage architecture of Alexandria. And it was in the Jesuit Cultural Center. So the people make reconstruction models of some of the demolished sites or buildings. And we have 20 participants from different domains in the fine arts. Initiative of the cycling to Alexandria Heritage. For 2 years, we visited around 10 sites in Alexandria by the bikes. and we could open some closed sites like Kumanadura, because of course that the main supervisor was the Minister of Antiquities and Tourism. Those about the campaigns we used to make heritage interpretation about the philosophy of ancient religion in Alexandria, and how to reconstruct the sites with the infographic techniques. The initiative of Alexandria World Heritage Simulation, it was about how to simulate the World Heritage Center system. So we let the youth learn the diplomatic system and how to write an accurate report about the heritage site or intangible heritage point. And after, at the end of the simulation, the youth tried to write specific reports on about specific heritage sites in Alexandria. We have a children program, heritage children program. I think that we implemented the same idea, but with different aspects, because of we changed the ways to be suitable for the children. And recently, we focus our projects and activities to be related to the Sustainable Development Goals of 2030, and to engage more networks and different people. We work with the 4 key dimensions: the social, economic, environment, and peace and security. The first project is the Harafi project, which in collaboration with the Ministry of Youth and Sports and the UNDP. It's about how to teach people the heritage handicraft, and then how to transfer those products to be contemporary products they can use in their daily life. Aslu Skandorani, the heritage tours, even it's walking tours or in underwater cultural tours, or as we see with entertainment methods, where we use different atmosphere to make reaching out to meet, to achieve heritage interpretation goals, but with indirect ways. We try to escape from the academic routine ways. And finally, the heritage development camping. We started this camps with Bityakan in the historic Cairo, and the Waikendi initiative. It's a Nubian initiative in Alexandria. The idea of those camps is about training of working on heritage development, to create dialogue of cultural heritage development, and to create indirect education methodology to interact between different decision makers. And we use mentoring and survey and mapping methods to study the current situation of specific intangible heritage points, and how to integrate those points with what the participants are learning through the sessions of this camps. And now we are working on the project of Alexandria documentation and registration, that we are working on register and document the heritage of Alexandria, especially the intangible cultural heritage, to try to register Alexandria in the creative cities list and the intangible heritage list. So this is Rapuda, and why we established Rapuda, and why we are still working on Alexandria.